Welcome to Reel Filmmaking. My name is Tindall, and on today's episode, I'm going to help you get better audio out of your DSLR camera. Now, DSLR cameras are great for videography and photography, but when it comes to their biggest weakness, it would have to be the internal microphones and the preamps the camera has. DSLR cameras are not great at capturing audio, and that's a big problem when you're making movies. A good rule of thumb to remember when it comes to audio and filmmaking is that a poor image will be forgiven for good audio, but the inverse is not true. An amazing image will not be forgiven for bad audio. So an example of this, let's say you're shooting a proposal scene and you've got this beautiful lighting, you're shooting at magic hour, things look great, costuming is amazing, and you shoot it in 4K, you get these beautiful visuals, but you forget to set up your audio, so you got scratch audio from the camera. That sounds terrible. People aren't going to want to watch that. Compare that with, let's say someone goes out with an older camera, it only shoots in 720p, they still have all the beautiful lighting, the costuming, it looks great, but they come prepared with an external sound recorder or a better microphone, and they get clear audio so they can hear the people talking during the engagement. 9 times out of 10, people are going to vote for the 720p image with the clear audio so they can hear what is going on. So you gotta remember that when you're making films. Poor audio will never be forgiven, but a poor image will be forgiven. So when you look up how to get good audio on DSLR cameras or how to get good audio in general for like making videos, on YouTube there's thousands of results, like use this mic, buy this thing, whatever. On my channel I focus a lot more on like kind of doing like independent filmmaking on the cheap, using cheaper gear that will still get you good results. And so I want to give you a couple tips that are more on the cheap end, and even one of my last tips is how to get better audio for free. The first thing I would recommend is to use an external microphone. And so what I mean by this is you don't want to use the internal microphones built into your camera. The preamps are terrible. You're going to get a very tinny, garbled audio sound. It's going to sound something like this. So now you're hearing audio from the Canon 60D without an external shotgun microphone. You can tell it sounds a lot more thin. It's not as full-bodied as the shotgun microphone. You're hearing probably a lot of extra noise, which is called the noise floor. Because the camera doesn't have good preamps, I had to raise up the input volume, and so because of that, to get my voice louder, the camera has to take in more noise just all together. You're also hearing that I am further away from the camera. You know, like I said, I'm about 5 feet from the camera, and when you've got the external shotgun microphone mounted someplace like close up to my mouth, you still get clear audio. But right now it sounds like I'm further away. I'm actually having to project my voice, I'm having to shout a little bit more to make sure the camera picks me up. So, all in all, internal camera microphones, not the best. As opposed to, I've been recording this video with a external microphone the whole time, and you can tell it sounds way more full. My voice sounds more normal as opposed to the really tin sound that you get from a camera. The other problem is when you have only the internal microphone to go off of audio. You know, I'm recording this, I've got it set up in my studio. I'm probably like 5 feet away from my camera, but the microphone is really close to me, so we still get the good crisp audio. So in regards to external microphones, let's talk about that right now. So I'm using a cheaper external microphone called the Movo VXR10. So this is a shotgun mic that a lot of people use mainly for vlogging, but you can still use it for studio. And I have it mounted right here on a mic stand just right below frame. So, you know, put it like right here, lock it down, and that's going to give you tremendous improvements in your audio over just the camera internal microphone. Along with being able to mount it on top of the camera, like I said, you can mount it on a boom pole, you know, below you, above frame. You know, I could get it up here, I could get it like out of the shot, you know, over to the side, put the arm like here. I prefer just for this setup just to have it below me. It's just easier, you know, get it angled up at my mouth. Getting an external shotgun microphone like the Movo VXR10, which I think of recording I got mine for about like $40–50, which is a pretty good deal. It might be cheaper actually. You know, you can have this on a boom pole. You can also have it mounted to the top of your camera, which, you know, if you're doing vlogging or maybe you're using a lens where you can get closer to your camera, that works out really nice. You are now hearing audio vlog style from the Canon 60D with the Movo VXR10 shotgun microphone mounted to the top of the camera. As you can tell, still sounds way better than just the internal microphone on a DSLR camera. So, you know, if you're doing vlogging, if you're walking around, this will be a really good situation for you because, you know, you are about like maybe a foot to 2 feet away from the microphone at any given time, you know, depending on how long of arms you have. But as you can tell, you're not having a problem hearing good, full, clear audio from the camera because of the shotgun microphone attached to the top of it. So, booyah. And my last tip, like I mentioned earlier, which is getting better audio for free, is if I was a betting guy, I would bet that everyone watching this video has one of these tools, and that is your phone. All phones come with a voice recorder app, a sound recorder app. Even if you don't have a shotgun microphone to put on top of your camera, you've got your phone. And when you get this closer to your mouth, you're going to get better audio. And your phone naturally has a better internal microphone than your DSLR camera because the phone is built to talk to people, whereas the camera is not meant to do things with audio. When you are recording something, let's say I'm in the studio like this and I don't have this external microphone and I can't mount it to the camera because, you know, I've got my external monitor here or something else on top of my camera. There's no way for me to use my external shotgun mic. I can take my phone and turn on the voice recorder app. Hide it someplace where it will be out of frame, you know, so just out of frame. And so I'm talking right now and you're actually hearing audio from my smartphone. You know, is it the most glamorous way to get audio? No. But if you're shooting things where, you know, you're shooting from, you know, the shoulders up and you can hide it, maybe if you are doing something with actors where you're like doing some close-ups and you need to get it, you know, you can hold the phone like right out of frame. You know, I have it in my shirt pocket, but if you're doing like really big close-ups, you know, you can hold it right below their chin. If you're doing a scene with people talking, maybe sitting at a table, you could put the phone like on the table, maybe like right under the frame. So there's lots of creative ways that you can use your smartphone to get better audio. So I hope this video has given you a couple different ways that you can get better audio out of your DSLR camera, like the 60D or an older DSLR camera. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more content about filmmaking, creative process, and all that goodness. And until next time, keep making movies and watching movies, and I'll see you on Reel Filmmaking.